Mara mantra. It's one of my favorite mantras, and it's quite relaxed. So I was thinking it might help you to go into the process of getting to the one that you are in reality. So we're just going to wait for a couple of more people to join us. I was just doing a very, very powerful practice, and I thought that would be very beneficial if I share it with you. So I'll find one day when I will share this practice with you, and it should support you to release any emotions suppressed against your parents and yourself. It's yeah, one of the most profound practices that I ever practiced, and it also worked for my clients when we do this practice. And especially in hypnosis, when you get into this state of mind, and then you have a chance to talk to your parents and say the words that you couldn't say, or when you were saying them, your parents didn't want to listen, or straight away they would have gone into defense um, because of the defensive mechanism that very often working in those kind of situations. And yeah, when you are hypnotized, you're in a state where magic happens. It's like you change the dynamics by speaking to your parent, and it changes the dynamics in reality. And when I say reality, is not the reality I usually talk about, reality that is the only reality, but I mean this life reality. So one day I will definitely announce and invite you to do this practice with me, so you can release all the unspoken words, all the suppressed emotions through the conversation with your parents, through forgiving yourself, and I'm sure you will benefit. And it improves the self love, self acceptance, self belief, and also it helps those who cannot attract a partner in their lives. As soon as you fully forgive your mom, forgive your dad, and forgive yourself, plus release all the emotions that they've been gathered there since you were probably very little. In some cases, even a baby, but in some cases, you were 3, 5, 7 years old. And imagine the age you are now, right? You are aware of how old are you right now. So imagine how many years you could have hold on to something that was so deeply suppressed in you that was blocking you from attracting the right partner, from attracting the right career, from proceeding with your business. There's so many people that still they always wanted to work for themselves, but they did not because of that dynamics between them and their parents, their family members, and themselves. Since we are all here now, I see 21 people online. That's fantastic. Thank you for coming here. Let's begin the practice. So, if you can, please close your eyes, sit in a comfortable position. Take a deep breath in through your nose And a big sigh, releasing. Again, breathe in and breathe out, exhaling through the mouth. You can make a sound of a release, of letting completely go. Letting go completely. Good. Let's take one deep inhale. Big sigh through the mouth. Beautiful. Now, relax your face. Relax the center of your head. So do the same thing as we do usually. In your imagination, draw a line from one ear to another one, and then another line going inwards. And where those two lines are crossing, there is center of your head, more or less. Just by sending your attention to that particular spot, make it relax. No force, no pressure, no stress. Breathing in and out, pay attention to the breath. And again, no control to the breath, witness it. What is witnessing? It's just letting it to flow, just the way it is. It's kind of studying it with a bit of curiosity. Notice what is happening in between each breath. There are certain gaps. And in that gap, there is no thoughts. So I want you to witness the breath, no need to force it, no need to make it longer, no need to change it anyhow. But pay attention to the gaps. So you're witnessing inhale, there is a gap. What happens in that gap? And there is an exhale and another gap. What happens in that gap? And as you breathe, you realize that you're not your breath. You scan your body, understand sensations, and you know that you're not the sensations in the body. As you watch the thoughts, you are aware of each thought. And while you witness your thoughts, you understand that none of the thought is you. The breath is still there, most likely it's relaxed by now. And you realize that you're not your past, you're not your future, you're not your wounds, you're not your expectations, you're not your beliefs. Breath just happens, the body breathes by itself. The face is completely relaxed. You're sinking into the hips, letting go any tension. You're allowing the furniture sitting on whatever it is and the gravity of the planet to hold your weight. It's like you dropped it right into the earth. Notice how is it now in the body, what has changed. And while you're witnessing the body and what is in the body, you also realize that none of it is you. Breathing in and out, scanning your mind and you see that nothing that the mind contains is you. You're not information in your mind. You're not your childhood. You're not any belief structures. Everything is witness right now in this present moment of now. You're simply aware of everything, but none of it is you. If you point at your body, if I ask you, where are you? You would most likely show at somewhere around the heart, the chest area, right? That's me. But that's called body. And you're also not your name because you cannot show this is me, that's my name, right? So you're not your name. You're not your body. You're not your thoughts. You're not this story that is attached to your persona, to the person that you are being on every day or pretend to be for the sake of game of life. There is an interesting story, I tell you. Apparently, it really happened um, in India. So there was one guy who was incredibly wealthy, and he had like lots of properties, and it happened that before in India were castes, right? So if you were born in a caste of working family, you would be working and serving. Let's say you'd be cleaning the houses and stuff like that. So basically, that wealthy man, he had a driver, and it happened that through generations, um, like his family was very wealthy and they were in that caste of wealthy people. And that happened that the driver that was driving for him, he also came through from the family that that were drivers, and that family of the drivers were driving for the family of another wealthy man, not of another wealthy man, sorry, of the same wealthy man. So that those two families were somehow connected, right? Because um, those drivers were driving for generations. And it happened that wealthy man became very good friend with this particular driver from that family because, they were together like, I don't know, 15 years. And he would share lots of stuff with them as they were traveling together and driving together. And one day something had happened that the driver, I think, had an accident and he's gone through memory loss. So he had complete amnesia. Okay? Just breathe in and out as I share this story with you. Like let yourself to witness the breath. And coming back to the story, so the driver lost his memory completely. And because that wealthy man really appreciated him in his life and he was well educated and he also knew about programming the mind, how it works, what is conscious and things like that. And he really, 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 like, they became very good friends. Okay, so when this man in the hospital awakened and he had the complete memory loss, and the doctor said he'll never get back to his memory of who he was, so he remembered nothing completely, right? So what happened? That wealthy man came up with this story. He decided to tell his driver, or used to be driver, that he's a very wealthy man, that he's got a property and a car, and he gave him one of his properties and a car, and he completely, by doing this, installed a different personality in that man. So the man had no choice rather than to believe what people told him around. And that wealthy man, he kind of bribed all the people around. So he really, even his family, he asked everyone to tell the driver, the man who used to be a driver but lost his memory, that he is a very wealthy man. He's got a property, a car, and money. So if the story is not only the story, you wouldn't be able to program that man. That's my point. So when you remove your story, the fake identity that you identify yourself with, that's been imposed on you by teachers, your family, your parents, your society, and those all beliefs formed your personality and the story of who you are, and you're still attached to that story, and that story makes you most of the time, most likely, suffering. My point is that you can change that story any time of your life, just like that man did for his best friend who was his driver at some point. You can achieve anything you want. You can get anything you want. You can attract the partner that you like. You can have a dream job. You can have a dream life. So breathe in and out through the nose and realize that you're not your story, and there is no need to hold to any story that you are convinced of who you were. You can reprogram and change that story at any point, any time of your life. And for the sake of letting go everything, release it. Let go of it. Don't hold on to it. Witness the breath is just happening in and out, and realize the story can be as fake as you want it to be. And why they have, they used to say, fake it until you make it. So people would convince themselves being wealthy, being rich, being successful, and it's almost like you lie to your mind. You cheat on it because the mind is programmed in other way. That's why we need a subconscious work. The mind can be programmed more and more accept of those new beliefs when you are in a relaxed state where the door to the subconscious mind is opened, right? So then any story could be programmed in you. And some people are even able to reprogram themselves being conscious. It's a much harder work. You need to really convince yourself on every day. You need to lie constantly to your mind because your mind would be negating in a conscious state. It will be, no, no, I'm not that. I'm not. So, but it's still possible. And of course, the deep subconscious work, it's tremendous. You can literally reprogram and create anything in your life. And if you don't have something in your life, it's rather either because you did not let yourself, you might be still punishing yourself for something you've done 10, 20, some people even 30 years ago, and they regret it and they don't allow themselves to get to where they want to be. And then, of course, some people have a very deep conscious beliefs. So that's like a little bit of expanding our practice today, because I want you to constantly remind yourself that your story is what you tell yourself about yourself, and it's what you believe. Okay, and your opinion about yourself is the most important opinion in the world. So you're going to tell yourself on every day that you are enough, that you're successful, and you can achieve anything, and you will do it. If you tell yourself, I'm lovable, I'm worthy of love, I can attract the right partner, it will happen. If you say to yourself, I'm enough, and you convince yourself that you're enough, then it's going to be much easier to create your own business or get promoted. So just like a bit of an extra things that you can do when you go to sleep, and you can program your mind by telling yourself those words. And now let's go back to the story. So now we dissolve the story. The story is not there anymore. And there is no personality. Like there is no human behind it. Because what is usually, when you think of yourself, just think quickly. What appears in your mind when you think of yourself? Most people, when they think of themselves, they have an image, an instant image of how they look, and the story attached to it. So when you detach the story from the image, now understand that you're not the image, and breathe in, breathe out. You now let go completely everything. You understand that you're not your body, you're not your mind, you're not your thoughts, you're not your feelings, you're not your emotions, you're not your education, you're not your weight, your size, your shape, your salary, you're not any information you've ever read. And every concept about you or this world is only a concept. Breath is still there, and now you are beginning to anchor in what you really are, because you cannot avoid that. And that is beingness. It's the being that is always there. And that being doesn't need to be necessarily attached to a person, to an image, to a story. You've detached all of that. And that gives you freedom. Breathing in and out from that spaciousness, from that understanding of being what you are, like you already exist, you always existed, and you will be existing. The body will die at some point, but what you are will never die. That's why my guru said, I was never born and I will never die. Because beyond all the layers that we peeled off today with a bit of an extra story, there is something that is undescribable in the spaciousness of all and nothingness at the same time. So you're breathing in and out, and there is no pressure, no force, no commitments at this particular moment, no obligations, no expectations to fulfill of other people, family, friends, boss, whoever it is. For now, you're free. And you can always get back to that state. And it's delicious. It's free. There's no charge for it, for just being. And it's beautiful. You are, and you are aware of everything. You are aware of yourself. You are aware of my voice. You are aware of the music playing in the background. You are aware of the physical layer, that your body is still there, partly playing the game of life. So it's partly here as well. But you know that you're not that. And it's amazing because you're spacious, you are limitless, you're nameless, you're timeless being. And as let's begin the practice of unity from that, what you are. Knowing that you're the most powerful thing that ever existed and will be existing forever and ever and ever and ever. Let's amplify the vibration of love and kindness. Notice the body is breathing, you're pretty relaxed, there is no stress, no force, you're just doing it playfully. So amplify that vibration a million times. Breathing and out, feel the expansion in your heart. The love and kindness is taking place in every organ of your body, in every little cell, in every blood cell, in your skin, in the bloodstream, all your energy around your body is now vibrating differently. The highest vibration of love and kindness. The breath is just happening to the body. Feels amazing. Feels delicious. You feel that love. You feel that kindness. And now let's amplify it 10 million times. Feeling it in the heart, in the lungs, in the kidneys, in your aura, physical bodies, vibrating it. You can feel the sensation of tingling in the fingertips. Beautiful. Let's amplify it 100 millions. Notice that the body is relaxed, it's breathing. Just playing and amplifying vibration. In you being that one consciousness or one unified consciousness, as I like to call it for the sake of the practice. And now let's amplify it 1 billion times. Feel how it increases and your heart even more opens, vibrates more of love and kindness. Beautiful. You might feel that you are here present in that very moment, but at the same time you are nowhere. It's a bit of a paradox. And that's okay to feel that. Or you can feel that you're somewhere like in a space kind of. Okay, perfect. Now let's realize that there are many people on this planet who are also doing this practice, and you, as one consciousness, through each of them, continue amplifying the vibration of love and kindness 1 million times. And of course, they are realizing themselves, being that one unified consciousness, and within themselves, they also amplifying the vibration of love and kindness, and it goes in a loop. So now you are amplifying the vibration of love and kindness through each of them and within yourself billion times over. Notice what has changed in the state of what you are, how the body feels, what's in the heart center. Beautiful. Now I want you to invite all the people that you love, you like, you are grateful for to have in your life. Call their names into this field. Think of the name. Think of the friends, neighbors, people you met on the streets today or at work, colleagues, your boss. Beautiful. Let's invite cousins, siblings, parents, of course. And now let's call in people who we're not friends with, people that you might not like, or people who hurt you in the past, humiliated you perhaps, somehow offended you. Think also of family members, ex or current boss, colleagues, ex or current. Who are you not talking to, or who you talk to, but you really force yourself doing so? Invite them into this space. People who had diminished you somehow, people that you are angry at, but you don't really want to admit it to yourself, people that you are jealous of, people that you compare yourself to, and let them be in this field with us. And you can feel the energy. It's so high, it's vibrating on one of the highest vibrations of love and kindness. And you know that any emotions that are below, they cannot reach that level. So you might be surprised that you cannot feel something that you used to feel towards the towards those people. Give yourself a moment and realize there is no anger, there is nothing to hold on to. And if it happens that you're struggling still and you do feel some unpleasant emotions, then invite the highest intelligence, the divine self, to help you dissolve anything that is vibrating lower than love, lower than kindness, and let the field to work around your heart, around your energy centers, chakras, cleanse all the energies that are lower than love, joy, gratitude, peace, and send it back to the universal consciousness. Say thank you. You can transform it now for me. And now open up to receive the highest frequency of love and kindness, because it is downloading right now into every single cell of your, into your psyche, into your subconscious mind, into your physical and emotional bodies, into every chakra, as it keeps balancing itself, and it's getting back into harmony right now. As I speak, you can feel it, that wow, that's a massive shift. You might feel lighter, you might feel less tension in the body, you might feel like a relief. Take a deep breath in, big sigh out, let go anything that does not serve you. Another deep breath in and a big sigh out. And that higher vibration is now anchoring in your body, physical body, emotional body, every single cell, and it's rooting itself into your subconscious mind. So as you walk through life, you're vibrating the highest frequency of love and kindness. There is equanimity, there is balance and harmony. And let's invite now all the animals into this field. Breathing in and out, in and out. Realize that nothing for you to do. You just surrender, being that love and kindness yourself, being the source of yourself. Call in domestic animals, wild animals, birds, fish, all the living beings that are in waters around the world, oceans, rivers, lakes. Let's invite insects and surround all the animals and all of the nature with love and kindness. Breathing in and out, surround yourself with the blanket of love and kindness. Feel that layer as a beautiful golden light, a silver light, a bright light. It's just penetrating your body. And it's like a vacuum. Instead of floating into something, it takes all of the blocks, it vacuums, sucks it out. And in that place, full self acceptance, full self belief, feeling of being enough, knowing that you're worthy, knowing that you are lovable, amazing, unique by just being you, is downloaded. That blanket is just reminding you of who you were born. As a baby, you knew you're worthy, you're enough, you're lovable. You did not have to do anything to prove that. You did not have any programs to telling you the opposite. Not programs, not beliefs, not codes, nothing. You were pure love, pure divinity, and you still are. Breathing in and out, give yourself a hug, wrap your arms around your body and say, I love you, I love you, I love you, and give yourself a space to feel it. Kiss your body, kiss your hands, kiss your arms with love, with kindness. Say to yourself, thank you for coming to this world. Thank you for being you. Thank you for supporting me always. Thank you for being with me every single moment of my life. Thank you for facing all the obstacles we went through, all the challenges. Thank you for everything. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your kindness. Thank you for your forgiveness. And I want you to think about one thing that you did not want to forgive yourself since long time. You struggle with it. And say to yourself, I'm forgiving myself for, finish the sentence, and fully give yourself permission to forgive yourself. Don't hold that power over you. There is no need to control yourself because of something you did a couple of years ago, or even recently, doesn't matter when. Just forgive yourself and move on so the energy can be released. And into that space, lots of things are coming in, many opportunities, new people, money, blessings, abundance. Because so many people believe that only money can give them what they want, but in reality, it's not the truth. Money is good, money is great to have. And let's say you want a new iPhone and you think, I need to make this and that amount of dollars or euros wherever you live. Depends on the country currency, right? And then one day, someone just gifts you the phone. Did you need to have money for it? No. So sometimes we are controlling life by saying to the universe, to the higher self, we'll call it wherever, the intelligence that moves the planet, that I need money for the house, so I need money for this. But in reality, when we set the goal, when we think, I am going to have it, I am making that decision to have it, and I don't care how it's going to come into my life, then we don't set so many obstacles to receive, and we don't see only one direction and one way how to get it. We just say to the universe, and I guess by setting a decision, it's an intention that, hey, I'm gonna get it. Then yes, there's certain steps you will be making towards the goal, and leaving more space for it to be manifested. They give more permission for the miracles to happen. So with that in the mind, I want you to make a decision. What are you going to have in your life? Whether it's a partner, whether it's a dream house, whether it's a dream job or your dream business, or maybe it's helping, I don't know, hundred thousands of people to feel better about themselves, or it's recording meditations, whatever it is, or there's so many things people want to achieve and have in their life. And you know what? Actually, what great is Google 5 things people regret of when they die, and see if any of those things are on your list. Because many people refuse themselves to pursue their dreams and their goals because they believe it's not available to them or they're not the lucky ones. So find out what's your list. Imagine you're dying right now. What would you regret of really? It's not necessarily not having, perhaps not doing, perhaps it's not saying enough to your spouse or your family, your parents that you love them. Could be anything. What would you really regret of not pursuing this life, their homework? So I'm really curious what conclusions you can make. Because sometimes most people want money, but when they realize that that last day is not necessarily they're going to regret about money that they didn't have enough, they just didn't get to wealth that they wanted, that they didn't become billionaires and millionaires. It's other things. Look at the list because yeah, it's an interesting list what most people regret. And make your own list so you can make sure that this life is one of the best lives you've ever experienced in the body that you were given. And I'm sending you much love. Sleep well if you're in Australia. Have a beautiful day if you're in Europe. And I'll see you guys here tomorrow. Thank you so much for coming, doing this practice. Because of you, we are improving the energy around our planet and we are creating more peace, more harmony, more love. And I believe that every human being was born at the heart to be good. And by doing this practice together, we can shift the way, the history, where the planet, where the whole humanity is going into. And it's only one person required to make this change happen. And that's you. So much love. You're blessed just by being here and doing this practice as well. Because whatever you do for the humanity, you do for yourself. And I'm pretty sure that you will be receiving many beautiful opportunities. The windows are opening for you. So be blessed, be happy, be joyful, and think, what is it really that you want in this life? What do you, what you wouldn't rather regret of not doing when you are at your death bed? No, sorry, deathbed. I think it's called in English. Yes. Much love, and I see you here tomorrow.